Hello, welcome back to the channel.
Hi, I am Shino from Japan.
Here we have Shino, who a lot of my viewers would already be familiar with, and Darren Appleton, who I think most of my viewers would also be familiar with.
Yes, hi.
I first met Shino in Japan at a drift meeting in Ebisu, where there weren't many other foreigners. So that's why she came and started talking to me. That was quite fun. And she helped me get my camera into a couple of cars to get some in-car footage. How did we get from that to you coming to Brisbane?
It's some complicated stories, but when I met you, I just thought, you look very sad because you're alone.
Yeah, very
because
funny.
we haven't seen any foreign people in every circuit. He is a pioneer.
What?
He is a pioneer.
Oh,
Australian people.
a pioneer.
Yeah, pioneer.
Yes.
So we haven't seen any foreign people in every circuit.
Mm.
So, and then he just left Japan, and after that, maybe through Ross.
Yeah, because
For Ross.
Ross,
Ross is a Swiss New Zealander.
he's full of holes and he's Jeezy, but car buying agent, which I have bought cars through since, I don't know, 1999, and he knew Shino. And he said, Shino would like to come over and do some drift stuff if you were doing any. So that's kind of how it came about.
Yeah.
So you flew over and with your friend, Toru?
Yes. Oh, you remember him? It's amazing.
I'm only 80, you know. So, yeah. So I've still got my
I drove
faculties.
pink car.
You
Pink.
did.
You are S13.
Yes.
Right?
Yes, you did.
One beer number 2.
One
One be number 2.
So anyway, at that event we also had Tezuka Tsuyoshi came over as a D1 demo driver, and he wound up driving Darren's Laurel. I'm not sure what we had planned for him to drive. He was meant to drive my
Your
car,
car.
but it blew up.
Yeah.
That's right, as usual. But a fun story that Darren can probably tell well is when he met Shino at the airport. And Darren was waiting for her to come out, and as soon as she walked out of the doors, she started going, "Darren!"
She did. I was wondering who she was referring to. I didn't know who she was after. It was like this deranged woman. No, not deranged. Very lovely woman.
Did I?
Yes, but yeah, it was you were at the airport with Toru.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then you went and stayed at Spring Hill. I booked you that accommodation.
Yeah,
In
you
Spring Hill.
take care of us. Very,
Yeah.
very nice.
I gave her a C33 Laurel to drive around.
Yeah.
And said, here's your hire car. And you went and stayed at Spring Hill. And you set the fire alarms off. And the fire brigade came.
You remember that?
You're cooking sausages in your
Sausages
room.
in the room.
Smoking there. In 5 minutes, fire people came to my room and, what can I help you? Hi, I'm cooking, just cooking and smoking here. I had to pay $400.
So anyway, that was a fun event, and you can see that on one of the other videos on the channel. But we should probably talk about how Shino got into drifting.
Yes, we should. So I don't know this story.
Yeah, but actually 2005 means just fourth year. Just 4 years experience for me.
Oh, really?
So it was just not beginner, but not expert person. So I was very hesitant to drive your car at that moment.
Really?
Did you know that?
Look, you couldn't be any worse than me. So I thought, well, there's a lot of room out there. You know, you have to drive a long way at Queensland Raceway to hit a wall. It's a long way away.
Yeah.
So I thought, well, I haven't done it, but maybe you can do it.
You won the event, so I think you were doing okay. How long before that was your workshop opened? Which is called Shino Koba.
Yeah, 6 years.
6 years, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
And you still have the same workshop?
Yes.
Same place?
Yes. Little bit moved.
Okay.
Moved just a little bit.
So Darren, you said you have a S13, you're drifting now?
Yes.
And there was the S14,
For competing car.
which you'll see on HPI V10, which was the last high performance imports video that we did. And that was one where we all went over to Japan. Darren and Alexi and myself, and we went and stayed at Shino's house, which she probably regrets letting us stay there.
Oh, I'm sure.
No,
Yeah.
I don't think so.
Yeah.
Well,
That was Alexi's first trip to Japan. He'd never been.
second. He actually went there by himself and went to Ebisu.
Did he?
And he took photos, and I paid him. So he thought, oh, this is a good idea. So then he started doing more stuff for the magazine. But yeah, that was only a fairly short trip, I think. And then when we went and bought the Skyline 4-door,
I remember that.
which had a couple of problems when we picked it up.
Yeah.
The fan was all locked up and noisy, and it turned out that the gearbox wasn't very good.
I remember Tezuka driving it and saying, "Oh, this gearbox feels horrible." I was like, "Yeah, it kind of does."
Yep. So we didn't get to drive it around the track very much, as it turned out, which Alexi wasn't very happy about because he was next in line to drive it.
Went bang.
Yep. And we had to drive back to Saitama using only second gear and fifth gear because that's all that was left. Didn't have reverse either for some reason. Reverse was gone.
Oh, there was 3 of us, so there's your reverse.
It was exciting.
Yeah.
Yeah. But Shino had a great suggestion before we decided to drive it back. She said she was going to drive really fast back to Saitama and get a tow truck or something and drive really fast all the way back to Nikko again to pick up the car. Which I'm glad we decided that wasn't the best idea. actually
Because
drove it.
I do all the time like that.
Okay.
All the time for my friends.
Anyway, we're a bit off track. We're going to ask Shino more about what is drifting like in Japan now compared to back then.
日本では今ドリフトカーがすごく高い。All drift car is very expensive, right? Like here. なので昔のようにいっぱい遊べなくなったんですよ。気持ちが難しい。前本当20年前は5万円とか10万円とか、高くても30万円でスペアカーが買えて、万が一ゴロンゴロンってなっても車を変えられたんですよね。で今はもうそれができない。そうするとほとんどの日本のドリフトは遊びじゃなくてもセレブの遊びになっちゃったわけですよ。そうすると新しい若い子たちがもうお金もないし続けることもできないから新しく参入することがとても難しいんですね。でそういう意味ではもうドリフトっていうのはただの遊びではなくなったと思います。
So whereas it was cheap enough before that people getting into drifting could do it just for fun, now the people who are still doing it in Japan are either much older drifters who were doing it 20 years ago, or people with a lot of money who are quite serious about it and wanting to compete.
Yes, exactly. Really understand. And also in the another situation, it's good is そうそうでねもう一つの面ではとてもレベルが上がったと思います。すごく考え方とか 20年前はこう暴走族の延長みたいな人もいっぱいいたし、私もそうだったし、遊べればいいっていう人が多かったんですけどね。今はすごく真面目に大会に出る人、それから大会には出ないけれども車をとても大事にしてずっと遊び続けたい、この2つに今絞られるんですね。コンペティションと just enjoy people。 日本のたくさんの方が今はそのドリフトの認識、ドリフトねすごいねって。20年前はドリフトでも今はamazing, you are amazing, you are drifter, I envy you, like this.
So 20 years ago, it was less mainstream, and not even in Japan, people didn't think much about drifting. It was more about going to
like
racing circuit.
Bogan.
Yeah. There's still an element of that in being a drifter. But since last year, really, when America changed the rules so you could import right-hand drive cars and register them in America, the price of all the Sylvias and Skylines has gotten really, really high.
Yeah.
And even in Japan, people find they can't afford to buy a drift car anymore. And they stopped making rear-wheel drive turbocharged cars around the early 2000s. Really, not much has happened since then.
So now we take care of our cars very much. We don't want to destroy anymore. That's it.
So no more drift missile.
Just some. Yeah, of course there are some still. I also have it. Example, if I rolled out, I still fix that. Never threw it away.
Yeah. Well, on that topic of drift missiles, when that was a big trend and what people were doing, Matsuri, Ibisu, and people that were just buying these cars that were, there was nothing wrong with them. They were quite good cars, and then just throwing them against the wall and ruining them, and just storing them at track power vehicles or whatever. And the rate of cars that people were smashing through, it just blew my mind.
I think it was about 10 years ago, maybe. I remember that. I thought the same thing at that time, but now it's a little bit changed. A lot of good drivers in Australia, people are coming and they can show us really great drifting. Yeah, just a few people are doing the same thing, like you said, but a little bit changed. I think. Everything is very expensive.
Yeah, so you can't afford to just go and buy an old car and just take all the corners off it, and then just the end of the car finishes at the back window, and that's okay. Never do that. You know what I mean? Like,
if you didn't have 5 drift cars already, what would you like to have as a drift car?
Now? Or?
Now, yes.
Okay. It's really hard. Maybe I won't have any.
Well, yamaru.
Well, that's a mood killer.
After all this time, she's completely sick of drift cars. And drifting people.
Us included.
Fair enough, I can see.
I get it. So, if you weren't going to have a drift car, what sort of car would you have? Like dreaming of what car you'd love to own. It's like, Prius.
No, I don't think so.
So what's your dream car? I guess. Sorry, that's my fault for not.
Okay, my dream car is just truck. I love truck.
Okay.
Yeah.
Like a low loader.
I don't mean
safety loader.
I don't mean big. Of course, I love a big one, but I'm kidding. I love a truck. The figure, shape, everything is so cool for me.
So, what would you
I'll
have in the back of your truck?
No, just
Drift cars.
yeah.
Living the dream. I've been there, done that. I've had an empty pan check full of drift cars, and I've got to tell you, it is amazing.
Another fun habit of Darren's was he would go to a drift event and leave the keys for the car in the hotel, or maybe you'd lost the keys
Yeah,
in the back of the truck once.
back of the truck,
Oh.
lost them, and you know when you've got all that real estate, there's a
Yeah.
lot to search. And then I did it with my Volkswagen van down the road here. Remember that time where we went to the Bring the Bash down at Wollongong? You had the BMW. So I did the same thing.
Yeah.
And it was on my bed inside my camper van.
In Japan, what are there any new cars that are popular for drift? Like,
I don't think so.
not really.
Not really, because new 86 or Z33 or some cars are there, but it's really hard to drift. It costs a lot, so for normal people cannot. I think it's really difficult to keep drifting.
But yeah, I think Z33. Even here, there's a lot of 350Zs that are around the place that people just use as practice cars.
Yeah, there's plenty of rough ones. So.
Yeah.
Yeah, like drive shafts, mission, and a lot of parts from Z33 are very good, strong,
They are strong, yeah.
lasts very long. So I think it's a good idea to drift Z33, but the problem is the front knuckles, and it's too narrow. How can I say? なんかね、動きがすごく制限されている。難しいんですよ。とても動きがピーキーだったり、もっとヒューってやりたいのにキュッキュッってなっちゃう。86みたいな感じ。
Yeah, again, it's the fairly wide with a short wheelbase. They're just when you want them to drift smoothly, they'll grip up and
like that.
just be twitchy to try and drift. I remember, back when they were new, a few D1 drivers tried to do it and found it was just a really difficult chassis for drifting.
And you sit a long way back. So it's like the pendulum effect. If you're drifting a four-door and you're sitting further forward in the chassis, you don't actually feel that whack. And when you're sitting right in front of the back wheels, you really feel that G-force, like your old, like an EZ, where you sit a long way back. It really makes that. It's a more violent further down the car that you get. But if you're in a four-door or Laurel or a JZX, you're all the way at the front, so it's smooth. It's more smooth.
So I just think about everything has a story at the beginning. Nobody thought JZX 100 is good for drifting at the beginning, right? So now Z33 is not very good for drifting only now. Maybe in the future it's gonna be changed, maybe.
Well, when there's nothing else left, then they're going to have to. It's a bit of a gloomy picture we're painting, really, isn't it?
Yeah, sorry about that.
All the cars that are good to drift are too expensive, and there's nothing new to replace them. I mean, there's a problem we're having in Australia. There's a lot of tracks that won't allow you to do drifting because drifters tend to make a complete mess of the parts outside the track as well. But in Japan, a lot of the circuits are being shut down, and there's some of the really famous ones like Sendai and Sekia Hills that is covered in solar panels now.
Really?
Yeah. They don't think there's any market at all, even for circuit racing, let alone drifting, and they're just shutting them down.
Solar panels there.
Yeah.
So
that's a pity.
There's another gloomy future for you. No more tracks.
No.
Even I think it might have been only during COVID, but one of the main courses at Ebisu was just covered in dirt, and they were using it as a rally track instead.
I saw that.
Yeah.
Minami.
But is it back to a circuit now, or is it still dirt?
Sometimes, because Kumakubo-san, the owner of Ebisu, thought they can get a lot of customers for the drifting events maybe 10 years ago, but now they cannot. So they changed to the dirt trial course, but maybe it's really difficult to get customers because of car rally people が少ないドリフト people も少ない so now sometimes only in Matsuri they can change to the circuit.
Oh, really? Wow.
Just a little. There is not the same course. I remember my most favorite one was Minami. Yeah? Favorite, but I couldn't do like a master. I wanted to be a good drifter at the Minami, but they closed. So my dream doesn't come true. But still, they can open as a drift course, but there is some corners before the big wall. Do you remember the Daigo Saito and Hibino? Everyone is jump.
Yeah.
But we cannot anymore.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Probably a good
dangerous.
thing, because it was really dangerous.
Yeah, too dangerous.
I saw a couple of other drivers, not Hibino, but trying to do that and bang straight into the wall.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I did.
And you've done that?
I did by my R32. Alexi used to drive. Maybe he drive as well now. Yes. I did to the wall.
Yeah, well, if you go in backwards, it'll be boom, boom.
Yeah.
Backwards, forwards. You see it
Yeah.
so many times.
But dangerous course makes us very good drivers, right?
Yeah,
You know that?
it's true.
We drive at the safety course. We cannot. We need a dangerous course.
Yeah. I even like to
am
get...
right.
You are right. You're right, it does. I even get the safe courses and I try to make them dangerous.
You are always dangerous.
You choose parts of the track that aren't parts of the track.
Yes. Just to see what it's like. Someone's got to do it.
After we came and stayed at your house, you seem to have an endless procession of Australian drifters coming and staying in your house. How did that happen?
Oh, I know how that happened. Because she met them all when she was here. So they all hit her up after that.
The first man was Josh Young. He was really nice. He was a good drifter. And I saw him at Brisbane. And he used to drift Hachiroku, right? And I called you to Japan. If you want to drift at Japan, just work at my workshop and you can live in my house together and you can drift weekend. And he said yes. And he came to my house and we promised some rules in my house and he kept everything, and he got famous in Japan a little bit because just a few people from abroad at that time. Only him. Before him, only Ben. He is pioneer.
But I wasn't drifting. I was taking photos and videos.
I knew it. I know that. So anyways, he left Japan. After that, Alexi and Paul, Alex came to my house. The second, maybe after you Alexi came to my house. After that, he wanted to come to Japan and he came to my house. and he got started Japanese life. And anyways, he lived in my house 4.5 years.
4.5 years.
Yes, as my son. I'm like a mother.
Auntie Shino.
Wow, I didn't know he was there for that long.
Yeah. So he learned Japanese and Japanese culture and everything he learned. And sometimes the other guys are coming to my house because Alexi was there. And the second person was Paul Mumbles. He came here and we got drifting, and I was very surprised. He was a good driver as
He's
well.
an awesome driver.
Don't you know that he won at the competition in Japan? Really?
Yep.
Oh, it's a story about 3 years later. And anyways, the another guy was the Jarek, Van Jarek.
Oh, yep. Yep. Sydney guy?
He was also a really good drifter. He was good. We got together to Nikko or Mobara together, and he drifted well, very well. So like the other guys coming to my house just visit, but I knew Jarek, Alexi, of course you, and Paul, and Nick.
Never mind.
Wombats.
Oh, Nick Rombat, of course.
Nick
Yeah.
Wombats. I just remember.
Yeah.
He's good.
Yeah, he's good. Yeah, Nick drives really well. Nick is. I've driven with Nick a fair bit at rally, and he's someone that you can follow, and he will run the same line every time. Very reliable, like Leighton. Do you know? Have you met Leighton, who used to drive with me?
Oh,
Leighton,
no, maybe
fine. Yeah, maybe not. He won the G1
really?
at Ibisu. Yeah, he's awesome. He's probably one of the best people you can drive with. Him and Bo. When we were doing the Team Pier things, Bo Yates and Leighton Fine and I, at every Drift Australia round, which was drift comp to find a winner, they also had team drift. So for a period of about 3 or 4 years, we won every team drift.
All right.
Because of those two, they're really amazing. We had a pretty good thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, that was more fun for me than to try to do battles, because battles is, people are just out for themselves. When you team drift with your friends, it's a much better feeling.
Yeah.
Oh,
A
really?
lot can go wrong in a battle too. So
Yeah.
I love battle.
I don't like battles.
Oh, really? In Japan, it's different.
Yeah, I
The
know.
battle is like friendship.
Yeah, but not anywhere else.
Oh, really?
Yeah, not in America or not in Australia. It's like,
Oh, really? See, my teacher is one of the greatest drivers. His name is Yonai. When I drift, he's always here, 5 centimeters. Me. I was very scared. He's very good.
yeah,
But I am enjoying the battle.
yeah.
Like that.
you would have liked Battle Magazine, the way they did their events, because they didn't have a battle between 2 cars, but they'd have what they call twin drift.
I love
And it
twin
was
drift.
Two guys just trying to do the best job they could.
Yeah,
And even their single runs, there would just be a single run, they weren't battling anyone. So it was all about style rather than the battle.
yeah.
And they were good to watch.
That's what I like.
I remember before we did the V10 video, I went to Japan with you, but we went to Sugo the first time, and
That was when we went to the Big X.
no, Big X was V10. But we went to Sugo before that, and they used the
kart track. Yeah, that was great.
And Ross was there.
Yeah,
In
we went to
Where?
Brian's shot
In
bar.
Sugo.
in
Sugo
Sugo.
no kart rando.
Smallest one.
But
Yeah, I know
they
that.
had D1 there.
Yeah,
Not on the big track.
I've been there
Mm.
just once.
Yeah, it's cool.
Yeah. But after that, we were meant to go to Ebisu with Tezuka. But then he called up on the way and said, "Oh, we can't go. The guy driving the truck, his wife's having a baby, so we have to go back to Tokyo."
Yeah, I remember that.
And we were at the station in Nihonmatsu going, "Oh, now what do we do?" We found this place that said Brian's Shot Bar,
Yeah.
but actually it was a dog grooming
Dog
shop.
grooming.
And we said, "Yeah, this place has gone to the dogs."
You put it on the credits. Thanks to
Brian's
Shop.
Shop Bar. That was in Sendai, I think, wasn't it?
Sendai, yeah.
All right.
Do you remember at that first Sugo we went to, there was a guy who had an FD with a big BN Sports Super
Oh,
body, and he was a massive showboat and he crashed. He didn't even make it to the first
didn't
floor.
make Didn't make it. That was just hilarious.
Yeah,
You know,
we never saw him again.
I'm sure you had to edit out my laughing ever again
I
like
have a
that.
question. Why did you come to Japan?
Yeah, why?
Yeah.
Well,
Put him on the spot.
no, it's pretty easy, really.
Okay.
Because I started High Performance Imports magazine, which is all about Japanese.
Why did you start High Performance Imports magazine?
Those cars were getting popular in Sydney. They were already popular in
but
Brisbane.
I've got nowhere to go with that.
Mm.
You like those, so you went,
Yeah, well, there were a lot of dealers sort of popping up in Sydney, and there hadn't been any before. Not long after that, I went to Japan with Danny and Terry
Terry.
Hermes. Terry was always in Japan at the time,
yeah.
but we went and stayed there. And
You made Danny a household name.
yeah, well, he was a character.
Yeah.
But when I went there that time, I couldn't speak any Japanese, and I realised I can't do much here if I don't learn Japanese. So I learned Japanese.
And what year was that? Take your time.
I think that was probably 99, the first time I went there. So I studied Japanese for a year and came back again, and that's when I went to Ebisu and met Shino.
You said nothing.
Not much.
What year was that?
Well, when I met Shino, it was probably 01, I think.
Wow.
He stood up beside me, just say nothing like this.
Yeah, he'll do that. He'll do that. You gotta
He
watch
was
him.
very quiet.
Oh, he-
Well,
And
If you get him without beers, he's very quiet.
Very much.
Yeah. It's a totally. There's a beers Ben and a non-beers Ben. Yeah. And some people said, yeah, I don't know if Ben really likes me. He's very quiet. I'm like, he
Yes.
hasn't had beers yet.
I know that.
He needs the beers, and he's just like, off he'll go.
Yeah.
I'm really good at making a bad first impression. I work on that.
Nothing.
Like when I first met Grant, he thought, "Oh, this guy hates me." But I was just busy
Yeah.
at the time. Oh, okay, good, yeah, good to meet you. See you. I think generally people in drifting in Japan and Australia are really friendly. It's more than if you do racing.
Yeah, of course.
People keep to themselves, their own team a lot. But at a drift event, you just talk to anybody, and they're all there to have fun.
Yeah.
But I think that's why it worked for me going to Japan back then, because my Japanese wasn't that good. I didn't know anybody, but I'd start to talk to people and ask, "Can I put my camera in your car?" And they're like, "Yeah, sure." They don't mind. It was always really easy going.
Yeah, of course.
Do you remember?
Like Shino.
Yeah, like me. I want to drift more because of friends are there, right?
Yeah.
I thank Tiff and Paul. Thank you very much. I love them.
Yeah, you had a lot of fun with them.
And Alexi, Darren, and Ben, thank you very much.
No worries.
Thank you for putting up with all the drunk Aussie.
Yeah.
Nice.